it seemed like a game where Sean was putting the ball in Todd's hands, but then control the offense a little bit.
Yeah, I think we kind of knew the type of game it was going to be, and that was the type of game it was, just to run the ball, and specifically with Todd, the way he was moving the ball and the way he was moving, and it worked. It worked really well, and I just couldn't be more proud of the guys who stepped up today. I mean, it doesn't happen everywhere in the league where you have two O-linemen go down. You have, Johnny Munt, who's banged up, Tyler Higbee, who's banged up, and we're going to play you guys the entire game almost. And they freaking stepped up, and I couldn't be more proud of them.
What was it challenging kind of learning that Robert Woods wasn't going to be available tonight?
I'm sorry?
What was it challenging learning Robert Woods wasn't going to be available tonight?
Yeah, he's a stud for us, and we want him out there, and we're thinking about him right now. But I thought Josh and Cooper, for the same reason. I mean, we learned before the game what's going on, and need those guys to step up, and didn't flinch. I can't stress enough how proud I am of my teammates, and specifically the guys that had to step up today.
Cooper, there was a lot of questions why Cooper didn't catch anything last week. This week, he was more of an important factor in the offense. How nice to have him back and connecting with you.
Yeah, anytime I can connect with him is great, and we were able to get a little bit more on the same page this week. We weren't throwing the ball quite as much as we usually do, and it was the way to win the game today, and we had to handle it that way, and thought he did a great job.
With you guys having back-to-back turnovers and possessions, how were you able to kind of turn it around and keep it together?
Yeah, it's never ideal and never something you want. And I was really kicking myself just knowing that, like I spoke about, that was the type of game is just don't turn the ball over and take care of the football, and just a bad throw by me. But I think again, I can't stress enough the ability to overcome and how you see these guys just consistently fight, and those young guys in the huddle, the way that they're locked in, it's so special, and it was a big win for us.
Jared, both teams needed a victory tonight to stay in the playoff mix. With as shorthanded as your team is, could you sense more of a feeling of urgency around this team, like coming in this game and then on the field?
I don't think we're thinking that big picture right now. We were really focused on beating the Bears today, and I think that you could feel the urgency with that coming off of last week's disappointment, just knowing that we needed to get this done today. And a few plays go here, there, or the other. You never know what happens, but we were able to make some things happen, and those guys up front stepped up and did their thing. We were able to run the ball, and you can see what happens when we get that going, and it felt good.
What about Sean's ability to kind of adjust his game plan based on what you guys had going?
Yeah, it was tremendous. Again, I think he's only going to continue to grow as a coach, and I think tonight was a perfect example of him, knowing what type of game it was going to be, and really relying on Todd and really relying on me to make good decisions, and I let him down on that one, but just consistently taking care of the ball, and again, knowing what type of game it was going to be, we wanted to do that, and I thought he did a great job.
Jared, easy to ask you this question when you win, but that interception where you threw into the double coverage, we often talk to relief pitchers after they give up. So what do you say to yourself? How do you put it behind you? Do you put it behind you? Do you think about it?
Yeah, that one was tough. That was just a blatant bad decision, bad throw, and it's going to happen. You don't want it to happen, but it's bound to. And I think for me personally, I've always had a good way about myself to get over that stuff pretty quickly. And but that one ate at me for a little bit, and yeah, no doubt it ate at me because like I spoke about, I knew this game was just take care of the football, we'll win the game. And as soon as I did that, I'm like, what are you doing? Throw the ball away, and glad I learned from it. Made some good plays at the end of the game and felt good. How do I? I've just been doing it my whole life. It's how do you write good stuff? It's the same thing. Yeah, well, I mean, how do you respond from that when you don't? It's the same thing. It's I've been doing it my whole life, and have to. You have no other choice.
When the defense is playing as well as it has in the last 4 games, the quarterback, even if you're struggling a little bit through the first part of the game, does it give you confidence that you're going to get an opportunity?
Of course. I think the way that they've been playing, specifically the last few games, like you mentioned, it's given us so much confidence and given us so much, ability to go down the field and try to make plays and do different things, and we need to be better for them. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I think tonight was a unique game, and I think we could have been a lot better, especially early on. But I think the way that we just kept responding. We'd go 3 and out, we'd punt it away, get the ball back, maybe again, and eventually it just kept chipping away. And I think that last drive we got our mojo back and we were rolling, and it felt like, you know, how we usually are on offense, and it's a good feeling right now.
You say how you usually are, that probably involved Todd Gurley too, and how he was playing tonight.
Yeah, but I'm speaking more specifically in the pass game. Of course, the way he's playing was tremendous, but I think on that last drive, just, you know, we don't have the best look, and we're just getting open, and I'm able to make some throws to the guys, and they're making great catches, and you know, we're making stuff a little bit off schedule. That's how we should play. That's the rhythm that we need to play in, and I think that Todd, like you mentioned, being able to run the way he did, was able to get us into that rhythm.
Jared, you were pretty emotional when you were talking to Todd coming off the field. What was your message to him?
I told him he fights. He fights, man. I mean, he's been through the ringer, and that dude fights. And I couldn't be more proud to be his teammate.
Jared, Todd had a season high in touches tonight, and Sean said that you can safely assume he's going to get this kind of usage moving forward now. So how does that affect you in the passing game, especially if he's going early?
Yeah, anytime we can run the ball like that, it's going to open things up, especially in the play-action game. And I think that's kind of, you know, what you've seen from us the last few years. When we're at our best is when we're running the ball really well. And there have been games, of course, where we haven't, and then we've overcome it and you know, thrown for 1,000,000 yards. But that's not, you know, usually how we want to do it. But today was a game where we leaned heavily on him and Malcolm, and I thought they both stepped up. And you see the type of players they are, the type of people they are. It's special, and again, I can't be prouder.
Jared, how big was the offensive line tonight, given some of the changes they've had to deal with?
Huge. Can't stress it enough. I mean, you think about Bobby Evans making his first start against Khalil Mack, who's arguably the best rush end in the league, and it was a non-factor. He did his thing. He stepped up. He did his thing. We were doing different things to help them out, but not that much, to the point where, you know, he was just playing well. And then David Edwards continues to get better, continues to do his thing. I thought Austin Blythe directed the offense, directed the O-line like a champ up front, and then Austin Corbett, you know, stepped in as well. Last week was his first time playing, and this week to come in there and just the way that all of them are just so like non-reactive. It's so, every single play is so dialed, so focused, so steely-eyed, and just ready to go. And obviously Whitworth is who he is, and we know that. But I just thought those guys stepped up so well, and I couldn't be prouder.
Most quarterbacks like to wing it around, I assume.
I'm sorry?
Most quarterbacks like to throw the ball around quite a bit. To come out with a win and only 11 completions, does that seem a little unusual?
It's one of my favorite wins as a Ram, no doubt. I think with all the circumstances, being at home in front of our home fans, and the way that the game was going, I don't care how many times I throw the ball, how many times we run the ball, how many completions, attempts, yards, touchdowns, interceptions. The way that game went, and the way that we fought, and the way that we continue to fight all the way into the end of that last drive, the way that exemplifies that, I think it's up there and in the top of my head as one of my favorite wins as a Ram, and I couldn't be prouder of the guys on this team. Thank you, guys.